All right, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash, double honors, and to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, is laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's going to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, to you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. And to Wa Barakar, you know what I'm saying? Good morning to you all. Just gonna jump into a couple videos, you know what I'm saying, and cover the current events that's going on. All right. Because this dude's he's about to send in the troops. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you had this whole 48 hour, 48 hour, was it, ultimatum, if you will, sent to Iran, saying that, if you don't open up the Strait of Hormuz, then we're gonna cut off all of your electricity and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right. All of this stuff is backfiring, man. You know what I'm saying? He had to back off of that whole talking point because let's just face it. Iran has so many cards in the deck. You know what I'm saying? This is why no other president's like it. All right, this is why no other president, all right, has bit this lure to go into Iran. All right, this is why, because Iran has way too many decks, too many cards in their deck, man. You know what I'm saying? But boots on the ground is pretty much, imminent. All right, it's pretty much imminent, and I'm going to show you, an expert in the in military circles, okay, who's going to give his case on this matter. All right, but I want you to see this. It says massive protests erupt in Iran. As crowds chant, "No talks, no surrender." Only revenge and vengeance. You know what I'm saying? This guy's flipped on so many things. He said there must be complete surrender or what do you say? Absolute surrender. I forget how he worded it, but yeah, he demanded surrender. Complete and total surrender. And this is a people that are not afraid to perish. You know what I'm saying? They're not afraid to become martyrs. And so it's going to be damn near impossible to take these Persians out. You know what I'm saying? But check this out, man. All right. And so this is Job. This is Job chapter chapter 13 and chapter 12 and verse 16. All right, chapter 12 and verse 16 of the book of Job. It reads, "With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. All right? The deceived and the deceiver are his. And this dude, Nero 47, as Elder Apostle Tahar likes to call him, what I'm saying? Trump is that fool, all right, who's been deceived because of his pride, man. The scriptures say that pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. All right. So check this out, man. This is the veteran that I was speaking of.
I think we're about to invade Iran, like soon. I don't like to make speculative videos because I could always be wrong, but all of the evidence points to the fact that we are preparing for a ground invasion. So buckle up because there's a lot we need to get to. So on March 6th, the 82nd Airborne got a warning order. Get ready to deploy. So what this means is be prepared to deploy 18,000 troops anywhere in the world in under 48 hours. And right now, their planes are sitting on the runway, loaded and ready to go. So when the 82nd Airborne got this warning order, the headquarters, the leadership of the 82nd Airborne had their JRTC training canceled. And if you don't know what that is, there's this huge training program that we have to go through in the Army. It's 21 days, and it never gets canceled. It has not been canceled since 2003, before we invaded Iraq. And then on March 14th, the 82nd Combat Aviation Brigade, think of medevac and attack helicopters that support a ground invasion. They got their deployment orders to the Middle East accelerated by 2 months, which again is a huge fucking deal. It's extremely rare, and that's only happened 2 times. One of which, again, was in 2003 before we invaded Iraq. And they want these helicopters in the Middle East as fast as possible. They usually transport them by ship. We are flying them on giant planes to the Middle East to get them there as quickly as possible. So as you already know, we're staging 5,000 Marines, aircraft carriers, and amphibious assault ships in the Persian Gulf right now. And that consists of everything that you need to perform an amphibious assault on an island. So all of the U.S. bases around Iran have had their blood transfusion supply increased by 500%. Because they're preparing for casualties. And the famous German hospital, Landstuhl, in Germany, where you get flown to after you get blown up in Iraq, they have halted all civilian services to make room for a mass casualty event coming from Iran. As of March 12th, multiple field hospitals have been constructed in the UAE and Oman to again prepare for mass casualties. And it was just leaked that on March 20th, 2 days ago, the Pentagon submitted ground invasion plans to the White House. 24 hours later, Donald Trump gave Iran an ultimatum. Open the Strait of Hormuz in 48 hours or else. They're not going to comply. So the next logical step that Trump is going to make is to physically open the Strait of Hormuz using our Navy and our military, which would consist of a ground invasion of Karg Island. This is where Iran processes 90% of their oil. And if this administration did this, he would be falling directly into the Iran trap that every single previous and more experienced administrations managed to avoid. And if we do this, it is going to be fucking brutal. We are going to take so many casualties. Because those IEDs that were killing us and blowing up our fucking Abrams tanks and shit, yeah, they fly around now. And they could reach you anywhere. There's nowhere to hide. Nowhere to hide. And they cost like $200 fucking dollars. Fuck!
Okay. So, check this out. Here's another video. All right. That many are speculating as to why Trump didn't follow through on that 48-hour deadline. All right. Because this is what Iran had threatened to do in retaliation.
Iran just threatened to sever the regional internet. After President Trump gave them 48 hours to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, Tehran issued a terrifying response. If the U.S. bombs their power grid, They will cut our underwater cables. Here is the engineering reality. 99% of all global data travels through physical glass fiber optic cables, resting unprotected on the ocean floor. These cables do not send electricity. They shoot lasers. Through a physics principle called total internal reflection, millions of light pulses bounce off microscopic glass walls, traveling at 2/3 the speed of light. Every single flash of light is binary code. Your bank transfers, algorithmic trades, and military comms are all just lasers. Over 20 of these critical glass arteries run directly through the active war zone. Cutting these won't take the planet offline, but it will sever 20% of regional data, causing catastrophic latency spikes that crash high-frequency financial markets. We spend billions defending the skies, but the modern economy can be destroyed with a submarine and hydraulic scissors.
Okay. And so, this is Psalms. All right, Psalms chapter 37. All right. Psalms chapter 37 and verse 35, it says, I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yeah, I sought him, but he could not be found. Okay? You know what I'm saying? This is going to accelerate the dismantling of, all right, this empire. You know what I'm saying? This final beast. You see what I'm saying? Rome will be gone once and for all, you know what I'm saying, throughout this turmoil. You know what I'm saying? By the end of this year, the world will be vastly different. By the end of this year, man. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we be out of here by then. Before then, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, because it's about to get catastrophic very soon. You see what I'm saying? Because with this type of a kill switch, you know what I'm saying? That can disrupt, you know, so many communications. All right. The damage is going to be gargantuan. You know, if you send boots on the ground to go and take the Strait of Hormuz, as the veteran has said, it's a death trap. You know what I'm saying? Mass casualties on a insane level. You see what I'm saying? So you won't be able to hide. You won't be able to hide that many casualties. You won't be able to hide them. You know what I'm saying? You just won't. All right? It's going to be too much death. Too much death to hide. You got you got these jokers already lying about the casualties as it stands. You know what I'm saying? Which are in the thousands by now. Which are in the thousands, man. You see? And they've been censoring funerals. So, you know, this is gonna blow out of proportion, you know. Like it's gonna be out of their control. Right? So the only thing he can do is either leave them alone, you know what I'm saying, to keep these cables intact. But the longer that he does that, the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed. Okay? The Strait of Hormuz will remain closed. And so the global economy will continue to tank as a result. You know what I'm saying? Especially the American economy. All right? And if he decides to put boots on the ground to go and take the Strait of Hormuz, it's gonna be a bloodbath over there. All right, so it's a lose-lose situation either way you slice it. You know what I'm saying? So,
listen, energy lockdowns are coming. It's going to be COVID 2.0. but they don't have to force you to do it because no one's going to have any money to go anywhere. You are already seeing signs like United Airlines just cut 5% of their flights. They're already rationing oil in some Southeast Asian countries where, hey, come every other day to get oil. Wait another 4 to 6 weeks from now. If this war continues, it's going to be work from home again. The price of flights is going to double in 2 months. No one's going to be flying anywhere. Hotels are going to crash. All this Airbnb crap. It's all going to crash just like COVID did. And what is the government going to do? They only got one solution. They're going to send out stimmy checks for everyone so they can compensate for the doubling of their grocery prices and oil prices. Now, another thing to put in perspective, in the 1970s oil embargo, the price of oil quadrupled from where it was at, and right now we are destroying each other's energy infrastructure. This isn't an oil embargo they can just lift and then we can increase the capacity. This energy infrastructure, like the LNG in Qatar, they're saying it's going to take 5 years to rebuild that. So it's just not going to be something we can turn on in the middle of the night. So this is going to be the death knell for the middle class. Whoever's left of the middle class is going to be forced out with just insane inflation on food, costs, insurance, everything going up. And the United States is going to look a lot like Mexico. You're just going to be either really rich or really poor. And the whole era of the strong, vibrant middle class is going to go bye-bye. So make your moves so you get out of the permanent underclass. And I think one of the best ways to do that is Bitcoin, because you can actually save your...
Man, this guys, these Americans are stupid. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna cut them off. But damn, it's stupid.
wealth in a safe haven asset that's appreciating while everything else is going to be depreciated against Bitcoin.
Yeah. These Americans are dumb, man. These jokers are dumb. Like y'all are dumb smart. That's what I like to call you. Dumb smart, man. You know what I'm saying? There will be no money. All right? And there will be no Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? And all of that was a means in order to trap you. All right? Because if you got Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff is going to be zeroed out. It's going to be zeroed out overnight. You know what I'm saying? It's literally just digits. That's all it is. It's just digits in an account. And once it's zeroed out, you will have nothing. And they'll come with an they'll come with an alternative. Saying here, you can have a portion of what you had. All you have to do is take this subdermal device going underneath your skin in order for you to have these assets. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be in some way where you're just at the tippy top of the food chain. No, you're still going to be managed. You see? Like y'all didn't. The very fact that Bitcoin was created, all right, by the idea from the Jeffrey guy who owns that island. The very fact that Bitcoin was his idea should tell you something. You see what I'm saying? It should tell you something. It should tell you how much of a trap this really is. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, all right, because he's going to get caught up in it too. No, there is no amount of prepping that you can do to get ready for what's coming, man. All right, the mass casualties, the energy soaring. You know what I'm saying? In terms of prices, all right, it's going to affect everything. It's going to affect your gas, your electricity. It's going to affect the food prices. It's going to affect the everything, man. Rent. People are going to lose their homes. People are going to lose their jobs. Everything's going to be affected. See what I'm saying? It's Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 15. Slakia. Let's get verse 14. It says, "The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit." Neither shall there be any work for Egypt. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Okay? In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and in fear, because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of the host of the excuse me. And it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. All right. So we're coming into very dire times, you know. And like he started off by saying, there's gonna be lockdowns again. You know what I'm saying? Lockdowns. Okay. And you know, throughout the chaos, they may excuse me, they may unleash this pestilence that they've got cooked up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be an entire mess on every front. You see? War, evil, and pestilence. War, evil, and pestilence. This is Jeremiah 28 and verse 8, and I'll close it out. This is Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. It says, the prophets which have been before me and before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. You see, we're in the midst of wars, and it's only going to get worse. We're about to experience major evils. Okay? Evils meaning bad times. All right? Eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. So evils and pestilences. All right? So, hey man, buckle up, because it's about to get crazy. You know what I'm saying? But hold on to faith. Hold on to faith. Pray for big faith. You know what I'm saying? And don't let anything deter you from it. So this has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. I want to say call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Chakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.